events. We really appreciate you being here. And we have some fun stuff to talk about today. We got some great seminars. I hope I'm one of the great ones too. And I hope you all enjoy it. I know you got the message about the white hair thing, so that's good. You know, common ground here. One of the things I really want you to get out of this is that anybody can do this. This is not scary stuff. This is stuff that takes time to learn. And being those that group of 1%ers that are here in the first place, I know you're motivated to know about it, are interested in it, and would like to do it yourself. You can do it yourself. As a matter of fact, put your finger, take your finger. No, seriously, come on. This is audience participation. Now, it's early, I know, right? You've had the coffee, though, right? Put it in this ear. Okay? Everybody repeat, I can do this.
Do this.
I just didn't want to go in one ear and out the other. Okay. So, a layout. This is a corporate layout. I think you might recognize the name. This is a layout we did for Burlington North Santa Fe. It's 32 feet long and it's 8 feet wide. The reason I like showing this layout, the reason I like to show this layout, share this layout, is it really speaks to a lot of the things that I want to talk about with you today. In terms of approaching the design and scenic effects, what the preferred way of designing from my end is that you don't get to see the whole layout at one time. A little bit of a challenge when it's 32 feet long and you're at a corporate event. This is the shareholders meeting at Berkshire Hathaway. This was taken just before the opening of the event. What you see behind it is a video screen. And throughout the day, they had an endless loop, and it talked about the Burlington North Santa Fe Railroad. So we had these wonderful, huge images of the real railroad, and then we had this model railroad in front of it. And the nice thing about it is that you don't really see the whole layout at one time. As much as you, I might go on this side.
You're a great demand. Well, I'll tell you what.
As much as you can see the 32 feet width of it, you're only seeing half of it, because down the middle of it is a mountain. And that mountain is three-dimensional, but it's only 6 inches deep. And we'll show you another angle in a moment. At each end, there's other view blocks that keep you from seeing the whole other half of the layout.
Thank you.
So when you have a long loop like we do, you're not seeing all the loops at one time. So when you approach your design, what you want to do is have things that visually keep you from seeing everything that's going on. You don't want to give it away right from the top. Let me just show you some of the other. This is when you turned on the video screen. This is showing the people around Burlington North Santa Fe. But now, with a little bit of a twist, you're starting to see the dimensionality, the full dimensionality of the layout. We have a large cityscape here, and throughout the table and in the city are all of the 56 companies that Berkshire Hathaway owns are represented on the table. And the idea here was that BNSF, the railroad part of Berkshire Hathaway, ties all of these together in some way. You know, delivering product, carrying product, as the engine that connects is the theme that they use. One of the criteria that BNSF asked for was for us to include a city that would have the opportunity to put the Berkshire Hathaway companies in, and then the 2 Medicine River, which is the bridge at near Glacier Park, which is on the BNSF route, and Cajon Pass, which is the far end of the table. All these scenic effects that are incorporated in here are ones that you can easily incorporate onto your layout. We have trains passing underneath the city. We have roadways that go beyond the layout. and this is a technique I like to use a lot. It's about how you get into the train experience. When you approach a table, rather than having all the streets run parallel or on the table, get them off the table. So it gives you a way visually to get involved with the train experience. So in this case, you can see the street here, and there's another one that runs through the town. We'll show you different views. But we depicted the major type of operations of the railroad, the intermodal, the coal, the hopper consists that they make. So all that is shown on the layout. And again, you can see the mountains are very dimensional looking. There's a lot of paint involved with that, but there's also a lot of sculpting. This is the view from the opposite end. You can see the change out of the video screen. Again, Cajon Pass look. Also the wind turbines that BNSF carries a lot of these parts and pieces to these different sites. And some of you may recognize George back there. George is one of our employees that does a lot of the installations. This is a higher shot you see in the backside. And at this point, you get a real good example of how that view block, that when you're down and on the floor, you can't see that whole other half of the table, which has the intermodal, it has the station, the rest of the city. But these are, again, elements that once you walk around the table, it's a whole nother experience. It's a whole different picture that you get. So it's one of the things that we encourage in terms of our design. Here you can see where that mountain person disappears. So you get on the end there, and the other mountain actually blocks your view of the mountain that you can't see. But it's again, it's a technique that gives you the opportunity to have a very long trains, long run, but you don't see it all the time. So that if the train is long, when it goes away, you don't wonder where it is. It's out of your picture, it's out of your sight. As you walk around the table, you get to see the rest of it.
Roger.
Yes?
Are you fielding questions?
Yeah, let's keep them short and on the subject though.
How do you do transition zones when you want to go from one scene to another? I mean, it's easy to do view blocks, but when you're going from a coaling facility into a city scene, what technique do you recommend that would give you a nice transition so it doesn't look like just everything just dumped on the layout?
Well, I think that the best approach is the one where you try to incorporate appropriate elements. Like, okay, you're going from a coal scene to a city scene. You have to have some type of no man land that actually creates that transition, whether it be a river, which is a real good way to go. You separate parts of the city or parts of the layout, a forested area, trees, which always, once you bring in trees and vegetation, it's about applying those real world experiences that you have. And in fact, I think that if I can encourage anything, just like encouraging going to seminars and seeing what other guys are doing with trains, is actually doing those train experiences, the real world train experiences, do the scenic railroads. One of my favorite places is Cumbres, New Mexico, doing the trauma ride. If you've never done it, if you do one, do the Cumbres toll thing. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I don't know if it's widely been talked about, but Ken Kelly with the LCCA is putting a group together. It's a 2-day